Scrimmage Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Hi, we welcome you in. Today's new drug is first show after the scrimmage. It's hard for me. On the phone with travel agents all day, changing my February vacation.
That's right.
How long after do they schedule the parade? Is it like you win on Sunday? Maybe? Is it like Thursday, Friday?
That's what I would think. Yeah, Thursday is what I would take off for sure.
Yeah, I might. Yeah,
and probably Friday.
Friday. Yeah. Anyway,
maybe just the whole month after you win. You know, maybe all the way to the Ides of March.
Maybe 1010XL will start having their own party. We'll have the post parade. Is what we'll do. So. So a lot of things to talk. We did see the scrimmage was fun. Joking aside, I thought the scrimmage was fun.
It was the best, I thought, practice, scrimmage, mock game, whatever you want to call it. It was the best that they've had in the stadium, I think, in several years. I thought it was phenomenal, though, the work they got done and how the Stars performed, as you would hope they would. It was largely ones versus twos. The defense couldn't blitz. But still, I thought lots of electricity on both sides of the ball and really good stuff from the guys that are going to have to really – they're the ones that are going to dictate, the wins and losses or the stars of the roster, and the stars of the roster showed up. Yeah,
and to your point that you made even before they had it, the hope was that it would feel like a game, and it felt like a game. Now, look, and you and I talked about this on Duval Rundown today. By the way, you can see that now on our social channels. Hayes and I do that on Monday mornings. Hayes and Rick Ballou do it on Fridays, and then there'll be another assortment here or there. But I will tell you, you're temperate. You're playing. There's no tackling, so you're playing against your own team, and frankly, you're playing against backups. The ones are playing the twos on both sides of the ball. The number one offense playing the two defense. The number one defense playing the two offense. So there's all kind of reasons to temper it. We've had enough. I've been the guiltiest of the guilty of expecting these big things during the season. They don't happen. So we all have become to where we temper it a bit. I think we all, but with that disclaimer sort of firmly in place, boy, I saw a lot that I liked. We'll get through some of the specifics and details of it in a bit. But there was a lot to like. There was a lot about the football team to like. And I think
didn't it feel to you as well that there was a little bit more intensity, a little bit more focus? Like, it seemed like them being in the stadium heightened things for the Stars.
Here's what I will tell you. It seemed like a little bit of a mini game, not like just another practice. That's what you're saying. And we've seen all these practices. Is it going to feel like just another practice, or is it going to feel like a game of sorts? Well, it felt like a game. I thought it felt more like a game and not just another practice than they have in a while. So I thought that. So we'll certainly get to that coming up today on the program. A lot of Jaguar talk to start the day today. You have Josh Hines Allen. I can't wait to hear from him. He's one of my favorite people, not just players. He's one of my favorite people. There aren't a whole lot of Jaguars that I've liked more than I like Josh Hines Allen. And I don't pretend to. I've always known the coaches and the front office people better than the players, because the players are 20-something and they're not going to hang out with guys our age. And I like them, but there's not many people I've met that wore that uniform in many, many years that I like more than him. You feel that way?
Yeah, that's well said. He's really good. He's a fantastic ambassador for the franchise. He's just, in every way a person can be exemplary. That's Josh Hines Allen. And he looks incredible. He's just turned 28. So, I mean, he's just now hitting what should be the prime of his NFL career. And Josh is just such a good guy. Like, he had already sort of gone in. I think they maybe the PR has to coordinate so many of these one-on-one interviews. It's tough because there's only so many of them, and there's 6 or 7 requests every day from local media. And so Josh had sort of already made his way in on Sunday after the practice, which was hot. And one of the PR representatives went to get him. He was, happy to come back out and give us some time. So, just a very, very nice guy, pros pro, and a great player.
Yeah, and he really is. And I'll bet you you made the point the other day. I'll bet he has a big season. He looks the part, feels the part, sounds the part. So we'll certainly talk about that today on the program. Some other Jaguar news. There are 2 new Jaguars that they announced the additions to the roster. We'll certainly get to that. We'll tell you a little bit about both Tremaine Ankrum and Austin Johnson later on today. I got there later on after the first break. We'll certainly talk about that. We'll hear from Josh Hines Allen. That comes up in just a bit as well. The Gators in the poll. They're in the preseason poll.
Yeah, I saw that first time since like 2019, I think.
21 maybe. I think they were.
Oh, is that right?
I think in 20 they were in.
Okay.
I think they were in it in 20. But I think first time.
It's been a while.
Yeah, so it's been a while. So they're in the poll.
For something that was felt like a birthright for 20 years,
really
that
did.
Florida was going to be ranked somewhere in the poll.
JJ, Miami comes in at 10. You like that? Is that a good spot for the Canes to start the coaches poll?
I don't respect the coaches poll at all.
You don't?
They don't watch the games. Like on Saturday, they're literally coaching. So I never even understood why it exists.
The SIDs used to do the voting. I don't know if they do anymore.
I'm sure a lot still do.
But they did. The SIDs would vote for the coach. The coach would say, "Vote for me," and so.
But that seems about right.
Yeah. So, 10. I would say, if you'd asked me to guess, I'd have guessed Gators 15-20. I might have guessed Miami more in that 10-13 range, which they're in. That might be a little higher than I expected. LSU 9. Did you expect that?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I didn't notice anything going through it that I thought was wildly off, except maybe like Georgia being 4th.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, sorry, Georgia, you can't have them outside the top 3.
It's hard.
It's
hard to sit here and think there's 3 teams with better personnel than Georgia. Now maybe it's a quarterback's question because Texas with a quarterback who, by the way, has barely played, but because everybody knows his name, they're first. So I certainly understood that a little bit. I'm with you.
I'm not taking a James Franklin-led team over the Georgia Bulldogs.
100%. Right now, without knowing the personnel of either one, if Penn State played Georgia right out here in the park, and I'm an SEC snob and guilty, I'm as guilty as I could be, but if they played right out here in the parking lot, I'd give you 9.
Yeah.
I'd give you the Nittany Lions in 9 right here. Kind of work around, down and out at the satellite dish. Take a little. I would give you 9. But we'll see. But yeah, we'll talk about it though. But it is a big year for Penn State. So we'll get to the coaches poll coming up later. I got a thought about the Florida football team and a comparison I'm going to make. See if you kind of agree with it. So that comes up a little bit as well. Other news is going on. The NCAA basketball tournament decided not to expand. So they did something good. I don't think they needed to expand, and so we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. We're going to start with the scrimmage. I liked what I saw. I will start with this. I think the 3 receiver set that the Jags will have on that field, Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, and De'Ami Brown, will be the best trio the Jags have ever had. Now, they'll never have or unlikely to have a better duo than Smith and McCardell. But they were never able to find that third guy, R.J. Soward and Alvis Whitted and Reggie Barlow. They tried. They were never able to get to that third guy. This will be maybe something really special in the receiving corps, and I think that's kind of what's, more than anything else, that's what stands out to me. I'm going to talk all about what stood out of the scrimmage. You're going to hear from Josh Hines Allen. We're going to tell you about the 2 new additions and why they're here. A lot of Jaguar talk coming up on the program in just a bit. Later on, we'll talk some Gator football. We'll talk about the coaches poll. We got a lot of fun stuff to do. Glad you're with us on a Monday. Hayes Carline, JJ LaSelva, I'm Frank Frangie. It's 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Denny Thompson stars as the quarterback whisperer.
Everyone agrees that playing quarterback is the hardest thing to do in sports.
He shares his insights Friday mornings on The Drill. Tuned up by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet on 1010XL.
If your house feels like a Florida swamp and your thermostat's just throwing out suggestions, then it's time to call Duck Duck Air Conditioning.
They showed up fast, fixed it right, and even cleaned up after. My house is finally chilled, and so am I.
Whether your AC needs a quick fix, a full replacement, or just a little TLC, Duck Duck Air Conditioning has got you covered with fast and honest service. Call 904-862-6769 to get your cool back, or online at duckduckac.com. When your AC is stuck, call the Duck.
Frank Frangie here from my bank, South State Bank. South State has been committed to delivering world-class customer service that businesses like yours and mine can count on. From personalized support to cutting-edge banking solutions, South State Bank has blended the trusted traditions we all value with the innovation you need for tomorrow. Whether you're managing cash flow or investing in growth, South State Bank is here to help you move forward. Visit southstatebank.com or visit your local branch today. That's South State, member FDIC.
I'm Max Fink, and I'll bring you the Gator Report several times weekly to keep you connected to Gainesville.
The Gator Report, put together by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go Gators! If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
You'll always feel good when you send someone a Kuhn Flowers floral or plant arrangement. This is JJ with 1010XL, and no matter what the reason, Kuhn Flowers has always come through for me. Order online at KuhnFlowers.com.
Reclaim a pain-free life with Rebound Rehab. If you've been injured or simply feeling the effects of an active life, you can rely on Rebound Rehabilitation to get you back in the game. Sitting on the sidelines isn't any fun. Trust Rebound Rehab's team of trained physical therapists to get you back up to speed and feeling full again. Now more convenient than ever. 11 locations to serve you, including new offices in Riverside across from St. Vincent's, Point Meadows, and Middleburg. Just log on to reboundrehab.com to see all they've got to offer.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. If you're going to buy an engagement ring, how much should you spend?
Frank, that's a question we hear a lot, and the guideline most often used is the equivalent of 2 months' salary. But I'll say this, the price you pay for a diamond is directly related to its beauty. If you want a big, cheap diamond, I'll guarantee you it's poor quality, and that's not what we carry at Underwoods. If you want a diamond of fine quality, cut to the right specifications for maximum beauty, not maximum weight, that's the kind of diamond we have at Underwoods. You see, when somebody's been married for a long time, they don't always remember what they paid for their engagement ring. They probably remember the sacrifice they made to pay for it. And when you consider that a diamond engagement ring will be worn every day for the rest of her life, most people will agree that a really fine quality diamond ought to be considered. That's what we specialize in at Underwoods and have since 1928.
That's Underwoods in San Marco, in Avondale, the Shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, here to share with you an actual client review.
Dude, these shirts are sick.
Check out the shirts and other sick promo items at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
This is Hayes Carlion for Harrell & Harrell. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harrell & Harrell. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now in St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
This is the last week to earn entries now to ride away on a brand new Wave Runner from Best Bet. Get the Best Bet St. Augustine now through the 8th. That means through the end of the week now. You got this week to get in there. Then join them all day Saturday for that big cash and prize giveaways, and you might get that Wave Runner. Head to Best Bet St. Augustine. Fantastic location right off of I-95 as you head towards St. Aug. Head there and you'll be glad you did. Frangie Carline, JJ LaSelva with you as we continue along here. All right, some things that jumped off the page for me. We're going to hear from Josh Hines Allen in a second. The receivers really looked the part to me. I don't think there's any question they looked the part. I think they can move. I think there's a combination like you haven't seen before. It's rare to have three guys who can fly. It's one thing to have, most teams have really fast, even the teams with good cores. One really good fast guy, he's your star. Another guy runs pretty well. He clears it out for you, good player. And then you got the slot guy in the middle that sits down in a Christian Kirk type guy that kind of sits down in zones and runs those little crossers. But to have three guys that can really run, and they have that. Parker Washington's a good player, not as fast as the other three, but that stood out to me. Boy, the running back room's good. Boy, Travis Etienne looks good to me. Tank Bigsby went first the other day. So certainly he's a good player. Bashil Tootin, we haven't even seen much of yet. He's a guy that people like. LaQuinn Allen is a third down back. I'll bet they all four make the team. I'll bet they're all four drafted, all four on the team.
Liam Cohen said about LaQuinn Allen after the scrimmage, he said he is doing the right thing all the time. Right. That's high praise.
Yeah, it is. For
a 7th-round rookie running back who, again, was one of the youngest players in this draft.
Right.
If LaQuinn Allen goes back to Syracuse, he probably is a 3rd-round pick in 2026.
Right. And so he's got a chance. Defensively, boy, the Jordan Lewis play was nice. That diving play he made was a really good play.
Nice
that's the instincts, broke on the ball. He looks like he's going to be a good player. I will tell you, there's about 6 or 7 spots I feel really good about the defense. The 2 starting ends, obviously. Foye Oluokun for sure. Jordan Lewis, Eric Murray, Tyson Campbell. The guys that have played a lot of football, I feel really good about. I think there's a real battle at that will linebacker spot. Devin Lloyd looks like he's the first-team guy now. He's a first-round draft pick. I think he's got to fight off Ventrell Miller. I wouldn't sleep on Jack Kaiser. I think there's real competition there, but I think it's there. I think the safeties, I think if the Jaguars released a depth chart today. Did you see it?
I have not looked at it yet.
They actually have a depth chart that the team, it's unofficial, but the team is really, you got to release something.
It's a guess.
Yeah. But the team released it. And right now, and there's about, there's a bunch of oars on there.
Yeah, if you have more than 3 oars, I don't look at your depth chart.
And then there's 5. There's a bunch. There's like 7 oars.
Yeah. On offense.
Yeah. So, but the safety position between Dewey, Darnell Savage, Antonio Johnson, there's a lot of oars out there. But the bottom line is there's some spots that I feel good about. My areas of concern for me, are. Let that offensive line come together. Patrick McCary hadn't played yet. I think that's important. I want to see what he's like. Although I'll say, and I thought I saw this once or twice before, but the more they practice, the more I notice it. I'm no longer surprised. Maybe you, and I think you probably agree with this. I'm no longer surprised when Chuma Edoga plays well, because I think he's gotten everybody. I think he's been a real pleasant surprise. I told you that. I'm a little worried about defensive tackle. I will tell you I'm a little worried about the defensive tackle position. Devon Hamilton, Tyler Lacey got the first runs the other day. Eric Armstead still isn't practicing, had a lower back thing. Mason Smith, you hope, shows up at some point. They went and signed Austin Johnson today. My guess is Austin Johnson plays a lot of football for him.
Yeah, he played 31% of the snaps last year with the Bills, so he was a big part of their rotation.
They went and they added 2 players today: Tremaine Ankrum, an offensive lineman, Austin Johnson, a defensive lineman. Who knows? I'm just going to give you my guesses. My guess is Ankrum's a guy who might battle to make the 53, but might be a camp guy as well. We'll see. I don't know. I'll bet Austin Johnson's on the football team. I think they went and got Austin Johnson to be one of their defensive tackles. Big physical guy, 6'4", 315, 320. So that's. From what I saw the other day, really impressed with a handful of guys, the receivers, Jordan Lewis. I think Trevor Lawrence looked confident. I think the running backs look terrific. I think the 6 or 7 starters on defense I feel good about look good. The 2 interiors of the line, the interior of the defensive line really has me a little bit concerned.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. I mean, this is a big week for Eric Armstead in terms of, what's going to be his level of participation. I mean, if you get through this week, it's not like, it doesn't mean he can't contribute this year by any stretch, but it starts to get concerning if you're, now this far into camp where you've played a preseason game and he hasn't really been able to do anything from a team standpoint. So we'll see. Obviously, they practice tomorrow. We'll see what the update is with Eric. And Mason Smith with the calf. I'm not as concerned with Mason because I think had turned a corner last year as a rookie, had a really great offseason according to Liam Cohen. So he just needs to get healthy. When he's healthy, I think he'll be a good player in there for him. But yeah, what got my attention, and we talked about this on Duval Rundown this morning, and you had I thought a great explanation for it. We saw some real shuffling along the offensive line. In particular, what grabbed all of us in the press box was Anton Harrison playing left tackle. But you brought up a great point as to why that is and why it's not necessarily a negative on Walker Little or anything like that.
Yeah, my understanding, my belief is this. One of those guys are going to be the swing tackle, either Cole Van Lanten or Fred Johnson. I think whichever guy they feel like is best suited to be a right tackle. That'd be my read. So if Anton Harrison goes down, Van Lanten or Fred move right in and play right tackle. If Walker Little goes down, they might feel like the best option is one of those guys goes and plays right tackle, and Anton Harrison moves over to left tackle. Now, I don't know that that's where they are. They're probably – because Fred played left later on in the scrimmage, so they're still experimenting. But my guess would be Walker Little is going to be the starting left tackle, and Anton Harrison is going to be the starting right tackle. And I'm going to guess the backup left tackle is Anton Harrison. That's my guess. So I think the reason and I think that's what you saw with some experimenting.
Yeah.
That'd be my read.
And that makes a lot of sense. I mean, can Cole Van Lanten, can Fred Johnson, can they play left tackle? I mean, not to say they can't, but it would make more sense for Anton. Some coaches are like, well, I don't want to change up spots.
That's right.
But I think it makes sense for the talent that they have. I would agree. Their reserve tackles are more right tackles.
It feels that way.
Yeah.
It feels, so I think what you'll see is, I think Walker Little's fine. I just think that he'll wind up being the Anton Harrison will wind up being the left tackle, the backup left tackle, and starting.
Makari's interesting too because he's back. He's healthy. So like tomorrow, I would anticipate maybe not doing the full workload they'll probably ease him back somewhat. But he'll be out there. And again, we always just assumed right guard, but it is where he's played the least amount of snaps in the NFL.
Yeah.
So if they're starting to feel good about Udoga at right guard, then that makes it interesting because Makari is starting somewhere.
Yeah.
And, then it's like, so that you almost kind of at that point have a surplus, which we're not used to having along the offensive line. But, because I will say this, I thought Ezra Cleveland was in real trouble. I will say, watching them after the scrimmage, everybody sort of went down on the field, but I wanted to see the whole scrimmage from the box, so I just stayed up there. And when the scrimmage wrapped up, and Liam Cohen was doing his media, I just stayed up there and kind of watched the players and coaches and staff sort of interact, just seeing if anything stood out. And one thing that stood out was Gladstone, Baselli, and Liam Cohen had a great discussion. You could tell very jovial, very upbeat. They were very encouraged. But then Baselli kind of walks away from that as Liam Cohen gets pulled to go do his press conference, and he comes across Ezra Cleveland. And they stopped and talked for several minutes. And you could tell from the conversation, it was incredibly pleasant. And, Baselli was, laughing at stuff Ezra was saying. And it wasn't like his family was there, his kids were there. It seemed like they were having a football discussion. And it resonated with me just watching it because it makes you seem like if Ezra Cleveland was in the doghouse, the EVP is not having that moment with him. So Ezra Cleveland may be really starting to, ingratiate himself with this staff. And if that's the case, if his play is really improved, then that becomes very interesting because you did draft Wyatt Milam. Not that he only can play left guard, but again, you're starting to maybe have more pieces than maybe what you thought you might have. Because I don't want to read too much into it, but it certainly seemed like the executive vice president of football operations was having a tremendously positive conversation with Ezra Cleveland.
I'll say this too. The Patrick McCary is going to be back out there now. He's played every position. Now, you don't want to be the guy that because you're so versatile at a bunch of stuff, you don't start at one. But I was as convinced he was their right guard before this as I was any starter on the team. I was convinced he was their right guard. I think now Chuma Edoga has played so well. I say pushed him. That's not fair to McCary. Has played so well when McCary's been out that he has put himself right into. I would not be surprised if Chuma Edoga winds up being the starter. It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me if he winds up being the starter. Now, if you ask me to guess or to bet my money, I would bet it's Patrick McCary. But I'm telling you, Hayes, it would not surprise me there. And you're right. They're literally worst case scenario is the one who doesn't start there. To your point, is a really good sixth man, which you haven't always had. And so the question is, I want to see them. And who knows? And by the way, Liam Cohen hasn't said if his starters are playing. If his starters do play this game, I'm guessing it's a series.
Yeah.
So you're really not
very brief.
So it's either probably not at all or a series. So you're not going to see much. The point is, you're not going to see much this week. And so, but at some point, I'd like to see them go against those guys. Again, I think Austin Johnson's got a chance as the defensive lineman to really help the team, because that's a position where I think they need a little bit of help. Running back's going to be very interesting. I was convinced Tank Bigsby had passed Travis Etienne. He went out first the other day. But the first practice, Etienne went out first. Etienne seems to have a burst to me. He seems to have found – he always is fast. But something – I'm told he had a great offseason. And the light went on for him somehow. Not that it wasn't on before. But I think Travis Etienne has had about as good a first couple weeks of camp as he's had since he's been a Jaguar.
Yeah, I think he's been a pleasant surprise. And again, that could be as simple as this scheme suits him better. And, again, that's not – I mean, I'm using it as a knock, but it doesn't always have to be a knock.
I hear you.
But I do think that certain schemes are going to fit players better. And I don't think Etienne is necessarily a great all-around back that would be great in any scheme that you put in front of him. I do think he's the kind of player that certain schemes are going to accentuate his skill set more, and this might be one of them, because I think they've run the ball well. I mean, any time that they have done it in 11 on 11 or in the scrimmage, the line is doing a good job of opening up space. And, yeah, it seems like Etienne and all the backs, but Etienne has a good pace through, good vision, and does have a nice burst. So, that's been a good room, I think, in training camp, particularly like we talked about. LaQuint Allen looks like, I mean, maybe revelation is too strong, but he certainly looks like, for a 7th-round pick, he's a revelation.
Well, he's going to be on the team.
Yeah, if you're a 7th-round pick and we can say before we get to the preseason opener that you're on the team, you have gained the trust of the head coach, who's an offensive guru. Then that's incredible. And obviously we know what Bashal Tootin is a player in terms of the speed that he brings. Tank Bigsby looks good. So
good room.
Yeah, I mean they absolutely have got some options there as well.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll keep it on the Jags. When we come back, I want you to hear from one of my favorite players on the team, if not the favorite, a terrific guy. That's Josh Hines Allen. Hayes has a one-on-one with him. That's next. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
With Lee and Kate's glass, you're gonna see a big difference. For 100 years, service you can trust. Lee and Kate's glass, depend on us. Glass solutions to meet your needs. Reliable quality guaranteed. Complete customer satisfaction. With Lee and Kate's glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Baloo here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Here you can see.
San Jose Collision in Mandarin is proud to be an iCar Gold Class collision repair facility. That means they meet the industry's highest training standards. Experience the difference at San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Clean and Freaks at Zero Res. Great time of the year to get your house zero resified. And right now, you can get your entire home clean from Jacksonville's ultimate carpet cleaner. You'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135. Plus, they're throwing in a free hallway and take $100 off the air duct cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com or call 287-5727 and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spelled backwards or forwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect Pilsners and Lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, got a minute?
Always. What's on your mind?
This time of year, my air conditioner is running non-stop. Hot all day, hot all night. It has to run constantly just to keep up.
Well, that's what they do.
But if something happens to it in the middle of a 2-week heat wave, I'm in trouble, Jason. I can't wait 3 days or 2 days or even the next day for service. If you can't get someone here today, I'm sweating by tonight. What if it breaks, Jason?
You call me, pal. That's what we do. Bueller Air and Plumbing.
But you're probably swamped with calls from everyone else's AC that ran nonstop and then broke in a heat wave, so they called you because that's what you do.
But we always have room for an emergency. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we have techs standing by because we know these things happen.
So I don't need to worry. Wow. That time you calmed me down without even using the sunglasses.
Oh, I was reaching for them.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now in St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
2 years ago, Hines Allen had 17.5 sacks, dropped off a little last year. They asked him to gain weight, play at a little different scheme. Didn't work out. He looks like Josh again now. He's in great shape. He went through a terribly dramatic life situations. You probably know now his son Wesley is a cancer patient, but he is beating it. And Josh, always grateful, always thankful, very open, very transparent, and now involving himself in many charities to help others going through the same thing. Just a wonderful guy, wonderful football player. Hines Allen, the subject of this Hayes Carly in one-on-one.
We're pleased to be joined with Jaguar standout defensive end Hines Allen here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Done with practice, so I'm a little tired, but I feel great.
Good. It's great to see you, and certainly it's been an outstanding start to camp. But I want to, tell you how much we appreciated your comments about Wesley, sharing that story, and how is he doing, and how can people help?
He's doing fine right now. Treatment's going well, and we're at the last phase of his progression. And once this is done, he'll take everything out and we'll be good. And how can people help, man? I have a foundation. If people just be more aware or get more aware of it, and you can donate if you want to, or just read about our missions that we're planning on doing, would be very helpful.
Is there a website people can go to?
Yeah, on my Instagram, I got a link in my bio for my foundation. People can just go check that out and see what we're doing.
Awesome stuff, and congratulations. You're a Hall of Famer. Kentucky is putting you in. That's pretty sweet.
Yes, sir. That's awesome. It's just a testament of hard work. Never count yourself out. Came in as a 2-star recruit, ranked 2,000 in the nation, and, I never doubted myself one bit. Got better each and every year, and, that's what happens.
You had a cool moment with Tom Coughlin after practice today. What's your relationship like with Coach Coughlin?
He's the one that got me in this building when, he got me here. And Tom's has been a wonderful support system for me on and off the field. And now that, he has the J Fund, when my son was getting treatment in the hospital. It was nothing but Jay fun and how much he's contributed to the hospitals over there. So it's just a great testament to the movement that he's doing.
It seemed like Friday night you guys got some great work done in the mock game. How did you feel like it went?
I thought it went well. I think our offense looked really good, and I think our defense looked really good as well. We just got to keep building on it and keep executing and keep knowing what we're doing.
You made tremendous strides, obviously, conditioning-wise in the offseason, Josh. How has that paid dividends for you as we're now, a week and a half into training camp?
I mean, I feel great every day. It's just how can we get better each and every day? And, including myself, no days off. I got to continue to, evaluate myself at a high level, continue to push my guys around me. I can't tell somebody to do something that I'm not doing. So I just got to lead by example.
You've been very complimentary of your teammates. What's that mean to you when Trayvon walks by and says best in the game right here?
I mean, that's my brother, man. He sees the hard work that we put in every single day, how much, this team means to me, how much every guy here means to me. So, once it's time to go, it's going to be time to go, and they're going to see why he just said that.
And Devon Hamilton, you've been very complimentary about. What kind of strides are you seeing out of Devon's game now that he's back fully healthy?
I mean, dominant. After that rookie year Devon had, and he was ascending to be the best nose in the game. And I think right now, where he is right now, it was that evolution of where he was at that moment to where he was supposed to be. But he's past that point, and you can just see the strides. I think he has a lot more to go. And I can't wait to see him continue to push that pocket back and hopefully get them sacks.
How has Coach Campanile helped you elevate your game so far?
It's just allowing us to be us, allowing us to rush when needed. Don't take us out of fits that, in passive situations, put us in the best position to be successful and trust the defense. Trust the secondary that they're going to do their job in the back end. And then have the secondary trust that the front's going to do what we're supposed to do. And play complementary football like that.
It seems like Jordan Lewis is having an outstanding camp.
Yeah.
Well, as a new teammate, what's it been like getting to know him and what he brings to the defense?
I mean, it's awesome having him. You can see the vet leadership that he has. You can just see the everydayness. So, the play that he made in the scrimmage, he's done that in practice. So he's a true testament of you practice the way you play. And every day is like this. He competes. He's a hell of a competitor, and he only pushes me to go even harder. Because I know if he's practicing like that and translating to the game, man, I'm not going to be not doing what I'm supposed to do. So I can put it on tape and let him know that you're not the only one, and you're going to push me to become a better player, so I can push others to become better players, and that's how we become the number one defense in the National Football League.
Josh, what's been your impression of Travis Hunter, how he's sort of taken on such a large role as a rookie?
I think he's taking it well so far. I think there's still a lot of strides that needs to be made, but at the end of the day, man, he's a baller. You put the ball in his hand, or if he has the opportunity to go get the ball, he's going to make a play. And when you have a guy like that on the field at all times, it puts you in a better position to be successful.
Thank you, sir. Josh Hines Allen, always great talking with you. Thank you so much for your time. I know it was hot out here. Really appreciate it. Best of luck to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, that was brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. Yeah, this is what a great guy Josh Hines Allen is. At the end there, when you heard me thank him, I had like a gnat on my face, right, so Josh just
he chased it away for you while you're in it.
Yeah,
he's a good guy.
Yeah, very good guy. Appreciate his time, and looking forward to covering him for another year. It's a big year. I mean, he's in all, there's a 90% chance he's going to own the career sack record for this organization if he, unless he gets injured very early in the year, he's going to have that, which is certainly very special. But again, he just turned 28. So, 28, 29, 30, 31, those should be 4 gigantic years for Josh Hines Allen in terms of productivity. And he looks fantastic. So it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I think he's going to, and again, Trayvon Walker continues to climb up that scale too. He's getting better every year. So I think that group together has got a chance to be a very special group. I really do. So I think the Jags, I'll say it again. I think they've got a lot of really good rooms, that receiver room, that running back room. There's a lot of defensive backs to choose from. They got to find who's going to play where. Boy, Jordan Lewis looks like a good player. Eric Murray looks like a good player. I've been impressed with Jarian Jones. I think Jarian Jones looks like a different guy. And Tyson's been there a long time. They got to find defensive tackles. I want a defensive tackle or two to make a splash play on Friday night or Saturday night. I think make a splash play on Saturday night, and let's see what happens there. I'll be interested in this new guy, Austin Johnson, who again I think is going to be in their rotation. I think he's here to play football. I don't think he's not a camp body. I don't think.
One thing that I don't think we'll know until Carolina rolls in, because I think by the time they want to practice this, it'll be closed to media. But I am interested in seeing how much they will utilize Trayvon Walker on passing situations at D tackle. I don't think you'll see it a ton, in just regular downs where the run could certainly be in play. Not that Trayvon couldn't stop it, but if defensive tackle is really, if it doesn't get better, if Armstead is out for a length of time, Mason Smith's out for a length of time, it does make you wonder, well, there aren't that many ways that you can supplement that. You can on all these passing downs. Trayvon Walker could certainly rush from the tackle spot, with particularly now that they've got Agba, and we'll see what like guard deck can become, once he's like fully acclimated. But going to be really interesting. The good news is, there should be guys, 320-pound guys out there that they can sign that can at least give you some presence with the run, and the gentleman that they signed today, Austin Johnson, certainly that's his game.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get into some college football. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Rubbings Racing.
Trouble off turn number 2. A couple of cars spin. Kyle Busch is one of them.
This Sunday at Watkins Glen, powered by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234 and 1010XL.
When you buy online, you really cannot tell because you're not looking at the stone. So it's impossible to buy a stone online that you can really see everything about it. You have to buy a diamond in person.
That's John Lupo at Beard's Diamonds, who says one big mistake is trying to buy a diamond online. Because each diamond is unique, you need to examine it for yourself.
Otherwise, you can get fooled, you can get tricked, and that's not a good thing when you're spending thousands of dollars.
At Beard's, John's son Ben says they give each customer the ability to compare multiple diamonds in their price range. Not just on paper, but up close inside and outside.
Go outside in the natural daylight. That's the best test to be able to see the exact color in the stone, see the brilliance in the stone, and the fire and the scintillation, which is very, very important.
People want to know what they're spending this money on, and they also want to be protected.
That's why Beard's takes it a step farther with a money-back guarantee and a trade-up policy that guarantees you will always get what you paid when you upgrade. Buy with confidence at locally owned Beard's Diamonds in St. John's Town Center.
This is Hayes Carline from my friend Holt at Harrell & Harrell. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harrell & Harrell make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
Teach your birdies to sing with Dan, Jeff, and PGA Pros on Brunch with the Tour. Teed up by Clearwater Irrigation and Apex Roofing and Contracting. Brunch provided by Chick-fil-A. 8:30 Tuesday morning on 1010XL.
Tired of wrestling with your shower curtain like it's a fight for the last slice of pizza? Ditch the drama and say hello to a smooth, stylish glass shower enclosure from Baker Glass. Wago Glass is clean, elegant, and makes your bathroom look huge and brighter. Give your shower a makeover and feel like you're in a spa without the price tag. I'm Mac at Baker Glass. Call me and get ready to love your new shower. Let's make your shower great again. Remember, Baker Glass, no one treats you better.
Lauren Brooks here from Helmets and Heels. Circa Resort and Casino has 2 epic pro football contests, Circa Million and Circa Survivor. Circa Million, pick 5 games weekly against the spread for $1 million grand prize. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no spread. Last one standing wins $15 million. Enter at any Circa in Nevada, play anywhere. Sign up for either and get 50% off a 2-night stay. Helmets and Heels will be live from Circa in Vegas on August 22nd. Full contest details at circasports.com and the 1010XL homepage.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through August 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting, protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. Got a leak or a clog? Or are old galvanized pipes causing low water pressure? At Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, we don't just fix plumbing issues. We solve them for good. And unlike other plumbers in the area, Superior Plumbing and Pipelining will never charge you to diagnose a problem. From simple plumbing repairs to trenchless pipelining, our estimates are free. And we can reline your cast iron pipes without making a mess of your yard. You have many choices for plumbing work. Make the superior choice. Superior Plumbing and Pipeline. Request a free estimate at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
Pick it here for Oceanside Cleaners, the very best in dry cleaning service. Free pickup and delivery, or use their self-service kiosk in Ponte Vedra and Southside for drop-off and pickup. Dry cleaning, laundry, bedding, and bridal gown preservation. If it's got fabric, they can clean it. Oceanside Cleaners.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
1010XL is presented by Barra & Barra, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. 1010
Take.
The 1010 Take is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. That's duckduckrooter.com. I'll say it again. I've seen enough now that I believe that 3 wide receiver set of Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, and De'Ami Brown will be as good a trio as the Jags have ever had at the same time. Not the best duo because they had Smith and McCardell. I don't know if they'll ever have something like that again. But they never got that third guy. They never got there. They tried it with Reggie Barlow and Alvis Whitted and R.J. Soward and many others, but they never got to the third guy. I think this group has 3 that are really, really, really good players. It will be, in my opinion, the best trio they have ever had. That's how much I like what I've seen, and that is the 10-10 Take. All right, that completes some Jaguar talk. More coming up as the show continues on, as we are right in the heart of camp. No practice today. We'll be back out on the field with them tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. To college football, the poll is out. Texas 1, Ohio State 2. Other notables, Georgia 4. Clemson 6. People love this Clemson team, I'll tell you that. The word is they have more defensive linemen than just about anybody. That seems high to me, but that's where they are. LSU is 9. Miami is 10. Florida 17. Tennessee 18. South Carolina 13.
I was surprised Illinois is 12.
Illinois 12 is high.
Like I will take the under on that.
Didn't they beat South Carolina in the bowl game?
Yeah, I don't care.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm taking the under on South Carolina too. But on 12 and 13, I do not think they will finish in the top 30.
I just think some of these coaches probably saw like the last game.
That's a great point. Well, and Illinois they won 10 games.
Right.
I mean, and
their quarterback's back.
Yeah, but I just that's one that would surprise me.
If you look at the teams that are high, you know their quarterback. South Carolina's got a quarterback everyone's talking about. Luke Altmaier, the Illinois quarterback, is back, so a lot of them do.
Ole Miss got some respect for not having their quarterback back.
There are 6 SEC teams ahead of Florida. Florida's 17. They're the 7th highest ranked SEC team.
Wow. So Tennessee's 8th in the SEC and 18th in the country.
Tennessee is 8th.
It's starting to look like baseball.
Yeah, it really is. So it's a pretty amazing stuff.
And men's basketball.
So I got a thought about the Florida team. I think this Florida football team, and I hope you're old enough to appreciate it. I think you are. You were 9 or 10 probably. They're most like the 84 team than any other team they've had. That was a loaded team. They're not fancy. The 84 team wasn't fancy. Mm-hmm. They ran the I formation and came right at you. The 84 team had 3 running backs taken in the first round. 3 first-round running backs. It's like Miami did in the early 2000s. Right. Florida had it in 84. Think about that. They had Neil Anderson, John O. Williams, Lorenzo Hampton. They had the best offensive line in the country. Mm-hmm. With a big physical offense, which is what this one has.
The Great Wall.
They had these big physical running backs. They had dudes on defense. They didn't do a lot. They weren't fancy on offense. Kerwin Bell won the SEC Player of the Year, but that's because he was more efficient than he was dramatic. And I think this Florida team, more than the Spurrier teams, because they beat you with flair.
Right. And scheme.
And scheme, more than the Urban teams, because for whatever reason, it doesn't feel like an Urban team to me.
Yeah, well, Urban had a fancy scheme.
He did. I mean, this team feels more like the 84 team personnel, how they play, kind of old school, than any other Florida team I can think of.
Yeah, it's a great call because you're right. The NFL pedigree of the 84 team was extraordinary. Lewis Oliver was on that team.
Marcus Williams,
just a lot of guys that made, really, to be honest, like, it's probably from an NFL standpoint the best generation of Gators in terms of what they became. Urban had some players go on and do some nice things in the NFL, but we've talked at length about it. The Gators don't produce a lot of NFL stars, but that 84 team certainly produced some high level NFL players. Yeah, I think it's a good call because no one's going to confuse Billy Napier with Steve Spurrier or Urban Meyer when it comes to an offensive mind. And so you're not going to see it like it was when Texas played Florida last year in Austin and Sark had guys running open by 30 yards because the Florida defense had no idea of how to stop what Texas was doing. So, yeah, I mean, for Billy Napier, it's going to be winning with physicality and winning with talent. And, when Florida's won at the highest level, they've actually had a head coach that is a gifted offensive mind. And in this instance, I don't know that Billy Napier is. That maybe becomes it, but it doesn't seem like he's a gifted offensive mind. It seems like if this Florida administration wins it all, it will be more in the vein of like LSU winning it with Ed Ogeron, where the talent is so immense that, a fairly basic scheme compared to what most high-level offenses are in the SEC and in college football are running. So, yeah, I think it's a great call. I will say I love their talent. I mean, the personnel that Florida has in every room, they've got NFL guys in every room on that team. And in some cases, multiple guys, and in some cases, first-round guys. I mean, I give Billy Napier a ton of credit because I don't know how exactly it all happened with all the acrimony and second-guessing that he's had to deal with. But he has built a monster in terms of a roster.
No question. We'll see if he can coach him.
Right.
We'll see if DJ Lagway can stay healthy. Because there's and it really is a brutal schedule. I mean, 4 games in, you will have played 2 road games, according to this poll.
Right.
You will have played 2 road games against top 10 teams. And 5 games in, you will have played 2 road games against top 10 teams and a home game against the number 1 team.
Right.
So according to this poll, you will have played 3 top 10 teams in your first 5 games, 2 of them on the road. So that is, say what you want, that's a brutal schedule. But we'll see whether or not Florida can measure up to that or not. But
yeah, they play, like you said, they host number 1. They play number 4 on a neutral field here in Jacksonville. They go to number 9. They go to number 10. They go to number 15. They host number 18, and they go to number 21.
Yeah, so it's a brutal schedule. But we'll see. It's as good a roster as they've had in a long, long time. We'll see if that roster winds up measuring up. I got a hunch it will. We'll see whether or not it does as they kind of move along. One other thought is this, that there's so many teams in this poll that are typically where they are. They've now got to measure up. Oregon's always top 10. We'll see if they're still there. Alabama's always top 10. They're 8. We'll see if they're still there. LSU and Miami now. We'll see. We'll see if they belong. Right now, that poll is the top 10 because that's what people remember.
Notre Dame seems high to me at 5.
Notre Dame is at 5, so we'll see. So a lot of fun teams. It'll be fun tracking it. We'll track it over the course of the season. We'll take a break. We got 1 hour to go on the program. A whole lot more to do. Stay with us on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Does Flutie have a pro miracle?
I'm Doug Flutie on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Here's Flutie rolling out, and he is in for the touchdown!
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
As a law enforcement officer, safe roads are one of my top priorities, ensuring everyone can get home safely each day. Some never will, due to aggressive driving, being distracted, or speeding on the roads. And too often, that results in the toughest part of my job and the longest walk in my life. I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
9 people will be killed on our Florida roadways today. Don't let it be you or a person you love. Buckle up every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Get closer to nature.
Trying to get close to these bucks out here.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Walls. The Nimnicht Outdoor Show. Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning, 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Looking to elevate your game night experience? Look no further than Best Bet. We're not just a card room, we're your destination for excitement, fun, and big wins. Whether you're a seasoned player or new to the game, we have something for everyone. Join us at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, or St. Augustine for thrilling tournaments, exciting promotions, and a vibrant atmosphere that will take your game night to the next level. Elevate your game night at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Your yard starting to look a little like a jungle? Well, it might be time for a little TLC. Or how about RTC, Russell Tree Care? At Russell Tree Care, they give your trees the perfect haircut. Whether it's trimming or removing, they'll make sure your yard looks its best, all while keeping safety as a top priority. Call Russell Tree Care today and let them take care of your trees. Russell Tree Care, 844-4Mr. Wood. That's 844-467-9663. Or visit RussellTreeCareLLC.com today. Your trees will thank you.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I have to brag about my kids' success again. My daughter's success, thanks to our friends at Awaken 180. Now, you know my daughter, Amber, as I've been telling you, has been trying to drop some weight for a while. Couldn't really find the right means. Well, she's now been in the Awaken 180 program for close to a month, and you ready for this? She's dropped over 30 pounds. That's right, the number is real. 30 pounds in close to a month. That's with no shots, nothing extreme, just the right plan, the right food, proper coaching, all from the folks at Awaken 180. She already said it's affected her mobility, just her life in general. Man, she is happy. And that means her mother and I are happy too, I can promise you that. So if you're ready to kickstart your transformation, call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800, or visit awaken180weightloss.com. Get started on your weight loss journey. Call them today at Awaken 180.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by JEA. The Jaguars added 2 new players over the weekend, cornerback Levi Wallace from the Broncos and defensive lineman Austin Johnson, who was the Titans' second-round pick in 2016. Florida Gators are ranked in the preseason coaches poll for the first time since 2021, coming in at number 17. Cam Young got his first PGA Tour victory yesterday, winning the Wyndham Championship. It's 80.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now in St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
Best Bet Summer Swing Series kicks off August 14th at Best Bet Orange Park. The 3-event tournament series kicks off at Orange Park, moves over to St. Augustine August 21st, and swings back to the final event in Jacksonville. So you get into all three places. If you play in all three events, receive a Summer Swing Series pullover and have an awful lot of fun. Head to the Best Bet in those three great locations, St. Augustine, Orange Park, and Jacksonville today. Frangie and Carline, JJ LaSelva with you.
You've seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail, right?
Only about 74 times.
Where they, the King Arthur and his knights are being chased by the cartoon, and then the animator dies of the heart attack. That's what we just experienced right there.
Right out of the gate.
But we can tell you Max is okay.
Oh.
Yes, for context, we've taken our updates from 60 seconds to 30, and Max was good all day.
Yeah.
Until then.
That one threw him off.
Yeah.
That one threw him off. The have I seen Monty Python?
Yeah. Have you seen that, JJ?
The Holy Hand Grenade. Oh yeah, it was my dad's favorite comedy, so he made me watch it, and it still holds up.
Your
man.
dad has excellent taste.
My favorite line. I got better. That's still my favorite line. Turned you into a new. I got better. My favorite line. I can't. That's my favorite line. You seen the Billy Joel documentary?
I have not watched it.
I finished it.
What'd you think?
I thought it was good. The one thing I'll say is that just in general, and this even goes to like the Jordan documentary and everything, a lot of like the celebrities are making the documentaries now. So there's not going to be like,
I agree.
They rarely touched on his drinking. Like they sort of did, but it was like 2 hours in and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, Billy liked to party a little bit. I was like, yeah, he did a lot.
Well, there's no question. He was just like Jordan. He was the executive producer.
Yes,
he was.
But I did enjoy the documentary. It was and the music just throughout, fantastic. Some of the live footage of him playing, and Christy Brinkley just looked fantastic still. She looks amazing.
Yeah, she's 71. But think about it. All 4 wives were in it.
Yeah.
All 4 wives. Yeah, he can interview me. Yeah, we broke up. Yeah, me too. Yeah. I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
He has 4. He's got 3 ex-wives and a current wife, and they all were in it.
That is impressive.
Why don't get them all in there together?
Yeah.
Like, who's the guy on TV with all the wives? The guy, the show on Bravo.
Big Love.
No, who's the guy? The guy's got all the wives. The Utah guy. It's on Bravo.
The
Sister Wives.
Oh, Sister Wives.
Have you never locked into Sister Wives?
I haven't. That's going to the top of the list.
You've never watched? No, there's this guy, and he's got like a bunch of wives, and they're all in it together.
Sounds terrible.
It does sound terrible.
I think they all left him except for one. And no, I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. It's called Sister Wives, and this blonde dude with a mullet, and the blonde dude with the mullet's got all these wives, and every week the show they interview the wives, but I think all but one wife left him.
Wow.
The nerve of them.
By the way, the LaSelva's 2-year wedding anniversary tomorrow.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Thank you. And there was one of the wives in the movies, she got like barely any play. Like the third one, I guess. So like the second
cook,
to last
the cook one.
Yeah, she was with him for a few years, and she was very young, like compared to him. And it was just like, so it just looked awkward when they were together. And not shockingly, it didn't last very long.
Yeah.
But she got like maybe 3 or 4 sentences worth of an interview.
She got very low. They barely even showed where they met. They just said he's married to this young chef. And I want to say that one, he was like 60 and she was 23, or he was 50 something, she was 23.
Huge age difference.
And he, in one point, she was, I wanted to go out. And Billy by then had done a lot, so he wanted to stay in. And she goes, I think it might have been the age difference. You think?
Oh my God!
You think so?
Very
you think that's what did it, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. So his first wife, who was like you said last week, was originally married to his best friend,
right.
and they all lived together.
Right.
But her brother became his manager after the divorce, even,
and stole from him,
and stole like $90 million from him.
Yeah. So after he's getting a divorce with the first wife, he says, "Well, I'm divorcing first wife, but I'm hiring your brother as my manager." Wow. And she told him not to.
Yeah, she did.
And she told him not to, and he did it anyway, and they got stolen $90 million from him. I'm telling you, you got to watch this.
I will.
You got to watch this. It is fantastic.
And just for the music and the live performances alone, it was worth it.
It really was. A couple things before we get to headlines in just a moment. The NCAA basketball tournament, I know we're not talking much basketball now, decided not to expand for the 26th season. You know, normally I'm always more is better. Why would the NCAA tournament mess this thing up? I think you're already going to have to deal with some of the 105 to 48 games. You just are, because the winner of the Horizon League is going to lose by 50 to Duke most of the time. You didn't want to see them go to 96.
I didn't.
Did you?
I mean, I understand why they would with revenue sharing and things like that. You know, they're trying to make it, as much money as they can make now.
Right.
And, by expanding the NCAA tournament, that's going to be the biggest way to create a new cash flow. But
Right.
I think I'm glad as a sports fan that it's not. I think 68 is fine. I didn't want it, moving from 64. I've gotten used to it being at 68. And it's not like I'd boycott it and not watch if they expanded it to whatever they're going to eventually expand it to, because I do think it's coming. But, but we like to look off the percentages and there's 320 D1 schools, something like that, playing basketball.
It's in the threes.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you've got 68 teams making it, I mean, I think you could probably mathematically argue that maybe some more should be included, but we're never, you like to say, are we leaving home the champion? You're never going to be leaving home the champion if 69 through 92 aren't making it. But I'm sure they're gonna need the money, so I'm sure it will expand. I am kind of surprised it's not already,
because everything always expands
without a doubt.
I actually think the sweet spot in college football. People are gonna hate this, but where I think college football ultimately will land is 24. I really believe that. That's where the BCS, or not to be the FBS, the FCS. I'm getting it wrong. The FBS is the
1AA.
1AA. Yeah, it's 24 now. And I'll bet you not soon. Once they go from 12 to probably 16 this year, that will hold for a while. That'll hold for 5-10 years. But I'll bet you we land at 24. Agree or disagree?
No, I do agree, because again, it's like anything. I mean, you'll probably see playoff expansion in the NFL and Major League Baseball and the NBA at some point, because it's the easiest way to cash a big check that you're not already cashing. Because the inventory it's just so prime for these networks. They crave postseason sports. And so why wouldn't you give it to them if there's a market and a network is willing to enter into a bidding war with other networks to acquire it? You're going to keep expanding it. And so, I think 24 will eventually probably be the number in college football. I agree with you. It's probably not this next round of TV. It's probably the next generation of that, but the money's just too big. And again, there's 130 teams playing Division I football. So you figure if 24 are making it, that's still a pretty exclusive percentage of teams that can say we made the playoffs.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
Considering we're used to like half the teams making it
in pro sports.
Yeah.
And once you get to 24, and again, I think you'll get there eventually. It'll be 10 years. But I think it'll be 16 to 24. I don't think you'll stop at 20 in between like they've been doing. I think you'll see 16 to 24. But then there will be no more debate. Team 25 will be mad, but it won't be like it'll be like Team 69 now.
I agree.
It won't be like, I mean, even when you get to 16, Team 7, if you'd gone to 16 last year, they'd have had to make a decision between, I think it was South Carolina and BYU, both of whom had an argument. And only one would have gotten in. So, but I don't. It'll be interesting to see if it goes there. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, Hayes has headlines. Stay with us. It's 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
He's not a senior citizen. He's Jacksonville's senior writer, John Osher. And knows your favorite football team. Wednesdays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Served up by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. Now, the Florida Gator Report. Sport on 1010XL. Brought to you by San Jose Collision.
Well, now that it's August, football season is right on the horizon as the Gators have a game this month. They'll open up the season Saturday, August 30th in the Swamp at 7 p.m. against Long Island. DJ Lagway has dealt with injuries throughout the offseason, and after being sidelined to start fall camp with a calf injury, he's finally in pads and throwing, getting ready for their return to the gridiron in just a few weeks.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, or Beaver Mitsubishi in St. Augustine. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
1010XL is the home of Gator Nation and the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. I'm Hacker, and we keep you connected with the University of Florida all year long. Get Gator Bites where you find podcasts.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville's full of memorable sports moments. Remember Tiger Woods' 60-foot putt on the iconic 17th? Gary Coate called it better than most. Better than most. Well, Coil Fencing is better than most. They're better than all. Coil has been that for nearly 100 years. So if you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coil & Sons today. That's at 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com. And let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Cleaning Freaks at Zero Res. Great time of the year to get your house Zero Resified. And right now, you can get your entire home cleaned from Jacksonville's ultimate carpet cleaner. You'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135. Plus, they're throwing in a free hallway and take $100 off the air duct cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com or call 287-5727 and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, got a minute?
Always. What's on your mind?
This time of year, my air conditioner is running nonstop. Hot all day, hot all night. It has to run constantly just to keep up.
Well, that's what they do.
But if something happens to it in the middle of a 2-week heat wave, I'm in trouble, Jason. I can't wait 3 days or 2 days or even the next day for service. If you can't get someone here today, I'm sweating by tonight. What if it breaks, Jason?
You call me, pal. That's what we do. Bueller Air and Plumbing.
But you're probably swamped with calls from everyone else's AC that ran nonstop and then broke in a heat wave, so they called you because that's what you do.
But we always have room for an emergency. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we have techs standing by because we know these things happen.
So I don't need to worry. Wow. That time you calmed me down without even using the sunglasses.
Oh, I was reaching for them.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
If you've been in a big truck accident, you need a lawyer that specializes in big trucks. A lawyer who knows all the federal traffic rules that can affect your case.
And who can navigate the complex web of laws dealing with the trucking company, the leasing company, the shipper, and all the other details that can complicate your case.
At Farah and Farah, we've seen it all, and we're ready to go the long haul to fight for you. Jacksonville.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
All right, welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie is here. We've got JJ LaSilva. I am Hayes Carline. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. They will take great care of you. Frank, we're going to start with the Jaguars scrimmage from Friday night. I thought it outstanding effort from the high-level players, and I was encouraged by what I saw. I thought it was run well. I commend Liam Cohen and his staff for it. I thought they got a lot of good work done.
I did too. I thought it was a very good crowd. I appreciated that. I thought I agree with you. It was fun to watch from a fan standpoint. It looked like real football. I know they weren't tackling to the ground, but for the most part, it felt like real football. The stars were the better players, which is what you want to see. That made it fun too, Hayes. Even afterwards, all the families on the field, it had a real family feel to it. I thought the buzz from day one, again, from the minute this whole Tony, Liam, James were all in place, the vibe has been really good. It's been a really good, really positive vibe. It really has.
Absolutely. We were out at practice again yesterday, and it was great seeing Tom Coughlin at the practice getting some recognition.
It was good to see. Tom was out there, and Kelly and Brian, his two children, were out there with him. A bunch of folks were, and Tony got him. They got the mic. Tony took him out to the field where they were practicing. Look, nobody deserves more credit for what this franchise became right out of the gate than Tom Coughlin. He's a wonderful man. He was a fantastic football coach. He ought to be in the Hall of Fame, and I hope one day he gets there. And it was great seeing TC out of practice.
Absolutely. Jaguars defensive coordinator Anthony Campanile met with reporters after yesterday's practice and talked about what it's like coaching Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines Allen.
We got a bunch of talent there on the edge, and again, I'm just always going to go back to what's our play style. Being that way, 1,000 miles an hour every snap of the game. When those guys can bring it that way, it does a lot for our defense. And I saw a lot of good things from them the other night, and they've been competing their tail off every day out here in camp. And Matt Edwards has been on them. He's been grinding them, and they're responding to the coaching. So, I've seen a lot of good things out of them so far this summer.
The best defensive coordinators I've ever been around, either at the college level or the pro level, are the ones that make sure they don't overthink it. Let your players play fast and comfortably, and don't have your players out there thinking. Honestly, Hayes, the ones that at every level, the ones that were the best, don't have too many stunts, don't have too many games, don't confuse your player, let them go. And I think that my sense is, I don't know Anthony Campanile, but watching him now and being around this thing through the whole offseason, including camp, I get the sense that's what they'll be. Put your hand on the ground and let's go.
Absolutely. We know how important health is for the Jaguars, and cornerback Tyson Campbell would be very high on that list after dealing with injuries the last few years. This was Tyson Campbell meeting with reporters yesterday after practice, talking about what he has learned overcoming the injuries that he's faced.
I'm grateful for it. It's allowed me to be mentally tough. It's allowed me to be present and learn to be where my feet are, and realize what God is trying to teach me in each and every moment, so that, when I know the trouble don't last always, so when I do get through the storm, I'm mentally, mature and mentally strong, to go through anything. So I'm grateful for it. It's behind me. I'm being present and excited for this year.
He's a sharp guy, isn't he? Tyson's grown up. He was always a good guy, but you can tell he's a grown up now. He understands how it works. He understands the game. He's going to have a good year. I really think that, particularly if number 12 is opposite him.
Yeah, that's going to be.
If 12's on the other side and 2's in the slot.
Yeah, that's pretty special, potentially, no doubt about it. The Jaguars did make a couple of moves today, signing defensive tackle Austin Johnson and offensive lineman Tremaine Ancrum. Austin Johnson, you believe, has a real chance to affect them at defensive tackle.
I think Austin Johnson's going to be in the rotation. I think they went and got him to play. I think Tremaine Ancrum is probably a camp body to get through camp. That doesn't mean he won't impress someone and surprise someone at the bottom of that 10-man rotation. But I don't expect that he'll be on the team. That's just my opinion. Austin Johnson, I think, is here to play. I think Austin Johnson's here to be a factor on the defensive line. I'm not saying he signed him to be a starter today, but I think he's in that rotation right out of the gate.
Let's get to the NFL. We're going to start with a correction because I made a boo-boo on Friday when we were at the stadium doing the Frangie show. Amari Cooper is not retired. He is still a free agent, right, but he is looking to play this season. So apologies. Amari Cooper still trying to continue his NFL.
And there's probably something left. There's probably something left with Amari Cooper. He's not none of those receivers at his age are what they were 10 years ago. But I'll bet there's something left with Amari Cooper. I'll bet somebody picks him up.
Let's get it to Buffalo. Running back James Cook is holding in as he seeks a new contract. The 25-year-old Cook ran for 1,009 yards last season with 16 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Alvin Cook's younger brother, by the way. It's interesting. Running backs have had a resurgence. Saquon Barkley has something to do with that. Derrick Henry had a lot to do with that. And so they're getting a little more confident by demanding more dollars, but you better be careful. It's still easier, unless you're Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley, it's still easier to replace your running back than it is some other guys. If I was his agent, I would be careful how hard I push this.
Yeah, it's good advice. Let's get into college football. The preseason coaches poll is out. Texas is number 1 for the first time in program history, which shocked me, followed by Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia, and Notre Dame. Miami is 10th. The Gators are 17th.
Yeah, I thought most of those teams were about where they should be or where I thought they would be. South Carolina a little higher than I might have expected. Ole Miss a little higher than I might have expected. To your point earlier, Illinois a good bit higher than I might have expected. But I think for the most part, those numbers are about where you would expect.
Number 1 versus number 2 start the season off against each other.
That's a great point. What a
first time ever in the coaches poll.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's great.
That's fantastic. That'll be an unbelievable game. In the swamp this past weekend, the Gators had a little bit of a scrimmage. DJ Lagway was throwing, much to fans' delight. Did you like what you saw?
I did, and I like the fact Billy Napier did make a good point. He said, listen, we're watching him. We know he's okay. You guys are all talking about the media. You guys are a little more worried about all this than we are. We thought he was going to be okay. I'll say it again. If DJ Lagway starts and finishes 12 games, I think Florida's football team is going to be very, very good. He's got to start and finish them all, but if he starts and finishes 12 games, I think they're going to be very good. So yeah, I don't think I'm the only one that feels that way. Everyone feels like a lot of those rooms are pretty full. So hopefully he's able to start and finish 12 games.
Billy Napier talked at great length about some of the guys on his defense, but one that he singled out, Jaden Woods, the true freshman edge. Napier described him as a unicorn. Can't wait to see what this guy can
And apparently he was really, really impressive in the weight room. If you read about all those players, the one guy they all said shocked him. Remember, he was a Penn State commitment. The one that really shocked him in the weight room. The two that I see everybody talk to is Jaden Baugh and Jalen Woods. They just went nuts in the weight room. So yeah, look, it's a deep team. The Florida Gators have a really, really, really deep roster. We'll see if they can coach to it. We'll see if DJ stays healthy and others. We'll see if they can handle that brutal schedule. But it's a deep roster. There's no debating that.
Let's get to Major League Baseball. The Braves win at Bristol Motor Speedway. What'd you guys make of the event?
JJ, I thought it looked corny. JJ said the best thing. They went to all this trouble. They cleared out the rest of the schedule, and then they got rained out on Saturday.
Yeah, they didn't have any games on Saturday night from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., and then they still didn't have any games because it was like an absolute monsoon.
It looked corny to me.
In Tennessee.
I appreciate the effort. And let me tell you what you don't do if you're putting on a baseball game. Don't run out of hot dog buns.
Not good.
They ran out of hot dog buns. I thought,
and no queso for the nachos as well.
I thought
catastrophe.
I thought it was a little corny.
And there was like seats that they were selling that, you always see at old ballparks where there's like some huge thing like sitting right in front of a seat. You only see it at like Fenway or Wrigley, like an obstructed view seat. They were selling seats to poor folks where you couldn't even see anything except the outfield and the very back of the infield. Not a pitch. Like, you couldn't see the pitcher or the hitter. And it's like, why would you sell those?
Right.
But then, like, who are you buying these to? I'm really questioning your sanity as well. But it's just an absolute catastrophe. Keep the games at the ballparks where they're supposed to be, Rob Manfred. Please.
Well said. The Yankees were swept by the Marlins. They're now in third place in the AL East. Now, the Yankees are second in the wild card standings, but should New York be concerned?
Well, I'll say this. Yes, because they're struggling. And JJ, I wonder if this is the year Aaron Boone gets it. Even though they're usually way more good than bad, I know a lot of Yankee fans, and they are fit to be tied with Aaron Boone.
Now the Red Sox look good, and they have like a young nucleus, and they're ahead of them in the standings. Yep. And by the way, the Marlins are probably the hottest team in baseball.
They're playing very well. The Marlins have played very well of late, and good for them, by the way. They
tons of prospects.
Yeah, they really do. So they've played very well. But I wonder, to your question, Hayes, if this is the beginning of the end for Aaron Boone. I like Aaron. I think he's a good manager, but he'll pick up. He'll find his next team pretty quickly. But there's some Yankee fans that have about had their fill.
Oh, lots of them.
The Pirates had a 9-0 lead against the Rockies, but could not hold it.
The Pittsburgh Pirates?
Yeah, your boys.
They did, huh?
Yeah, which led to an interesting theory that you were telling me about, Frank, during Sunday's practice.
Well, here's and I'm serious about the theory. I'm not joking around about this. During the All-Star break, that baseball players whined about the dead ball. That was a big topic. Rob Manfred didn't want to talk about it. He didn't want people writing about it, but it was a big topic from everything. Home run derby, the whole bit. They whined about the dead ball. And nothing was said about it. Last week, the Braves and the Reds played a game where both teams scored 8 runs in the same inning. 8! This game, the Pirates are up 9-0. They're up 15-6, and they lose 17-16. And then the Yankees lose 13-12 to the Marlins. They juiced the ball. There's no doubt in my mind they juiced the ball. I really believe that.
Let's get it to pop culture. Today we mourn the loss of Lonnie Anderson, the gorgeous actress who shined in the 1970s and 80s, died over the weekend at 79. Anderson was best known for her work on WKRP in Cincinnati, but I will always remember her from playing Burt Reynolds' love interest in the 1983 comedy Stroker Ace.
Absolutely. Gosh, it seems like we've lost a lot of people we're familiar with.
Bad last couple of weeks.
Man, it really, really has. And I'm always trying to put a pattern or a theme to it. And is the theme maybe that the golden age of overall entertainment, TV, movies, music, was all one stretch, and therefore the stars of that stretch kind of got old together? Am I reaching, or is it just happenstance? That's got to be part of it,
yeah,
right?
I mean, I think it's the icons of their age,
right?
You know, from the 70s and 80s, or now elderly, unfortunately, and we're losing them. But it really has been the last like 10, 14 days has been incredible.
And for all I know, someone our parents' age might say, hey, we went through the same thing with Sinatra and John Wayne and whoever else. I don't know that. But for our age, it just seems like these deaths are kind of lumped together. It really is.
Yeah, I agree. We will get you out on our musical note of the day. We are celebrating local music history because on this date, back in 1984, Huey Lewis and the News visited our fair city. They played at the Jacksonville Coliseum. This is the heart of rock and roll. How about that? Huey Lewis and the News. If you saw them in Jacksonville around this tour, 1984, it was on this night 41 years ago.
How about, and boy, were they big then. Boy, was Huey Lewis big then. I did not see this show. I did see them along the river when the Super Bowl was here. 3 or 4 days before the Super Bowl. Remember all those bands were playing along the river there? I did see them there. What a fun band. What a fun. I was a big fan, and they came and went pretty quick. But I was a big fan of Huey Lewis and the News. Well done as always. Thank you. We'll be back. We'll wrap the program after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's VSIN Action Update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The first preseason coaches poll was released on Monday. The Texas Longhorns, a preseason number 1. They're followed by Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia, and Notre Dame. The Buckeyes and Longhorns are the betting favorites to win the national championship this year. Both teams at plus 550. Penn State at plus 600. Georgia is at 800. The Clemson Tigers plus 900. Alabama and Notre Dame both plus 1100, with Oregon at plus 1200. Texas quarterback Arch Manning, the betting favorite to win the Heisman Trophy this year at plus 600. Cade Klubnik of Clemson plus 800. Garrett Nussmeier of LSU plus 900. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Got a clogged drain that just won't quit? It's time to bring in the pros. Duck Duck Rooter.
I called Duck Duck Rooter for a clogged kitchen drain. They showed up fast and had it cleared in no time. No mess, no stress.
We've seen it all. Grease clogs, hairballs, mystery goo from the deep. Whatever's blocking your pipes, we'll get it flowing again. Call 904-862-6769 now to schedule your drain cleaning service. That's 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the duck.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. So how do you decide? With so many messages on air, I know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. When you've been injured in an accident, you need help from someone you know, someone you can trust. Harrell & Harrell, a name you know, a name you trust. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Hacker here with a cool story to share with you guys. Everybody knows I've lost a lot of weight thanks to the great folks of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. But how about this? I went into my closet a couple of days ago, pulled out a shirt from 2019, and was able to put it on for the first time in over 6 years. That's what happens when you lose over 100 pounds thanks to Awaken 180 Weight Loss. The guidance I get from Coach Kate, I've met with her every week, every step of the way. She was encouraging me. She was guiding me. She was giving me instructions. It made the plan so simple, and the weight absolutely fell off. Look, if it's time for you to lose weight, like it was for me, do yourself a favor. Do your family a favor and call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or go to awaken180weightloss.com. They can change your life. I know this because they've changed mine. Now it's your turn. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Let's get the work done.
Training camp is here.
Up, quick feet, quick feet, quick feet.
1010XL's training camp coverage is backed by Roland Reach Plumbing and Green Acres Sporting Goods.
Go, here we go. Let's go. It's live now. Let's go. Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now in St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
We sure appreciate our friends from the Best Bet. They have been a sponsor of this program for the longest time. Going to remind you, Lucky Seat giveaways are heating up on Thursdays. That's at Best Bet St. Augustine. It's from 6 to 10 p.m. It's every night now, prime time, every 20 minutes. And you can find out all about the tournament and all these details at bestbetjacks.com. That's where you see all those promotions. So head to the Best Bet. You'll be glad you did. They do a fantastic, fantastic job. All right, the scrimmage is behind us. 3 practices on the field tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. Kind of looking forward to those. They'll be physical. There'll be physical practices. I think we're all kind of looking forward to the physical practices. Then the Steelers come in on Saturday night. What's your expectations for the game? Does anybody on either team play?
I don't think so. I just think where the league is headed is you get your work in during the week, and then when it's really live against guys you don't know, I mean, it's just dangerous. It's too dangerous, I think, to risk. I do think they need to be physical these next 2 days, but that's with teammates, and that's with, controlled situations. And, I think injuries could certainly happen. We saw a Colts running back break his leg over the weekend from a horse collar tackle in a live practice. It was big-time backups that were involved in the play, so it doesn't affect the Colts, but necessarily in terms of their 53-man roster. But that's the thing. Like, I just think they need to be physical these next 2 days in practice. Thursday's practice, usually, we'll see if this staff is different, but normally that's a practice of the starters really don't do much. It's more your third and fourth team guys because they need to be functional in the preseason opener. So it's almost like you got to force feed reps to them so that it's not embarrassing what you put out there to the world when your reserves are in. But I would think tomorrow and Wednesday, to me, it's almost the key of the whole training camp because you've been in pads now for over a week. Tomorrow will be your 8 days removed from your first padded practice. And if you're really going to build a physical team, then Tuesday and Wednesday are really your days to go hard and push your top line players. Because they will then have substantial rest. They're not going to do much in Thursday's practice. Friday, they'll do pretty much nothing other than a walkthrough. And then Saturday, we don't expect them to play in the game. So, and Sunday's off. So if I'm Liam Cohen and his staff, I'm not playing guys Saturday that are key to my week one and future success. But tomorrow and Wednesday, it's going to be two of the hardest practices these guys have ever had. Is what the goal should be, and I'm very interested in seeing how he approaches it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. All right, we're closing in on the season. We're closing in on college football. See, how long until we have a college football game? Today's the 4th. When's the first game? Is there a game?
There's the one in Dublin, I believe.
Is Dublin the week before?
Yeah,
is that what it is?
I think so. I do think
we're getting close.
Right. It's not a fantastic matchup, but it is a football game.
We're getting close.
We got Iowa State versus Kansas State. Yes, the 23rd. So that is week 0, and that is at 12 noon. Like last year, we all got to watch the Georgia Tech Florida State game overseas, and that is in Dublin, Ireland.
Wow. So it is so.
But really, that's
Iowa
really
State,
the only game worth a
Iowa State, Kansas State. Hayes, what do you do when they play? What do you do with the records?
I mean, you might as well just throw them out the window.
Right out the window when the Cyclones get together with the Wildcats.
Yeah. It should be a good game. Kansas State's a 3-point favorite.
Yeah.
So
I'll watch. I'll be watching
Vegas boys and girls are
Farmageddon is what they call it.
August is interesting. I didn't know they called it that. That's good. August is interesting because you can't wait for football season. But then August, it seems like once you start watching camp and the college team practice, does it seem like it's forever till it gets here?
It's a total tease.
Yeah, I mean, I follow the Rick Ballou theory. Don't wish your life away. Don't sit around in May and wish it was September. I don't do that. Rick has coached me on that. But
it's harder to say that when your baseball team sucks.
Yeah, it really is.
Which I've learned this year.
But you got a concert.
August is a tease.
And you by the way, how was Rob Thomas' concert? Was it good?
It was good. Yeah, we had a good time. We saw that was what was that, Friday night?
Yeah,
he was good.
You've seen him a few times. We
actually got shushed, which I've never had happen at a concert.
Who shushed you?
So we were pretty close to the stage, and my wife Jean is like the most outgoing person ever. So she always meets like new friends, and so she starts talking to this girl, and so so me and that girl's boyfriend or husband start talking, and we're at a rock concert. Now, again, we're only like
you're not in the
6 rows from the
library.
But yeah, we're at a rock concert. And so this guy is a very nice guy named Scott. He was a big Eagles fan. And so we're talking, and the girl like across the aisle, says, "Can you guys please stop talking?
Oh,
please
you got
stop talking."
shushed.
And she was like in her 20s.
You got shushed.
Yeah, so it was really bizarre. I'd never had that happen at a. I mean, again, we're not at an opera.
Yeah.
I mean, we're at a rock concert.
Awesome.
And we're not. And nothing against Rob Thomas, but it's not like we're seeing the Rolling Stones here.
Right.
I mean, it's not like you know you can't tell me you've been waiting to see Rob Thomas for 30 years, and now I'm spoiling the moment. But anyway, that was our story from the concert.
So I didn't go to Shania.
Oh, okay.
That's a great story, you being shushed. I wish I could have seen you be shushed.
Yeah. And I sat right down, and I
took your medicine.
I took the shushing.
So I want to go see Shania. Suzanne wasn't feeling well. Okay, so we had 2 tickets. So I left here, and then it was hot and baking hot out there. Then the storm. Remember the storm? We were going to go on Wednesday night. The storm really hit. Lauren and Brian were going to go. Lauren Brooks and her husband Brian were going to go, and then he wasn't feeling well. So I know she did. I know Tom McManus went with his family, and Taylor went with some friends. So we had a bunch of these 10-10XL tickets. But I was going to go, and then I didn't want to drive. I didn't want to drive down there. So I didn't want to drive by myself. Suzanne didn't feel like going, so I said, I don't know, maybe I just won't go. And I decided not to go. I heard she. I'm a big Shania Twain fan. I heard she was great, by the way. But so help me, I'm not making this up. You know, you imagine the worst, okay? So I can't tell you the last time I've been to a concert without my wife. I mean, I really can't tell you the last time I've gone to. Probably when we all went to ELO. Me and my buddies all went in 2018. So I'm just convinced I go to the Shania Twain concert by myself, and somehow someone's going to say hello to me. I'm going to be friendly and say hello back. The cam's coming. And I'm the Coldplay guy.
Coldplay's gonna be on.
I was totally. You laugh. I was totally paranoid about being the Coldplay guy.
Yeah.
I said I'm going to go by myself. Okay, and someone's going to say, Frankie, I'm like, hey, and sure enough, that camera's going to find me. I'm paranoid about the Cold. You can't be the Coldplay guy.
Yeah.
You know, so
Jack's play-by-play guy and not his wife.
Right, I mean, it's as dumb as that sounds. That's in our head now, right?
That's
It's like seeped into your brain, and I'm like, I can't go. I couldn't go. Now, part of it was the storm, and I didn't.
Yeah.
But I'd be lying if I said it didn't run through my mind.
That's funny.
Frank becomes the Coldplay guy. Let's take a break. We'll be back. We'll wrap the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Resto Pros!
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Resto Pros!
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestoProsNEFlorida.com. That's RestoProsNEFlorida.com.
Resto Pros!
It's always truck season at Nimnick Chevrolet. Well, this month, you can save up to 20% off a new Silverado or get financing rates as low as 0%. Now, unlike most dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet is the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. And with their extensive selection, you're sure to find your perfect truck at Nimnick. Available now, the all-new Silverado EV with payments starting in the mid-200s. Designed to go the distance, the Silverado EV boasts 440 miles of range, more standard range than any competitor. You get the drill. They've got it, and they've got it waiting for you. And you know, Nimnick will always give you top dollar for your trade. Want an even better deal? Ask about demo models for deeper discounts. The bottom line is this. You head to Nimnick Chevrolet, and you're going to wind up getting a great, great deal. So who's got more new Silverados at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnick.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. As temperatures warm up around us, ants come out in droves. And when they move into your home or business, it's unnerving. Terminix knows that ants add up fast. But Terminix subtracts them faster because living with ants isn't any fun. When ants show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with an ant problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC-branded pain relievers. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
At Hurricane Grill and Wings, every day feels like the weekend. Fresh, never frozen chicken wings, tossed in over 30 bold flavors, paired with ice-cold beer and handcrafted cocktails, all in a laid-back, beachy atmosphere. And with every game on the big screens, it's the ultimate escape, and you're home for sports, too. Great food, cold drinks, and all the games. That's Hurricane Grill and Wings. Escape the ordinary and find your spot at HurricaneWings.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, we talked a great deal about that scrimmage today on the program. I thought it was a good scrimmage. I enjoyed watching those three great receivers. That's the thing that still jumps off the page for me. The Jag scrimmage was an awful lot of fun. We talked about that. We heard from Josh Hines Allen. He was the subject of Hayes 101, so we certainly talked about that. Talked about some new moves to the Jag. They signed an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman. Tremaine Ankrum, an offensive lineman that'll battle in camp. And a defensive lineman, Austin Johnson, who I think is going to be a factor for the football team. To get more about him in a minute, but he was signed as well. We talked a little bit about the college football poll, about the NCAA basketball tournament not expanding, and Hayes took us through headlines as well. Before we get out of here, Rick Ballou will be in and say hello in a minute. Austin Johnson, by the way, was drafted by the Titans. He was a 43rd overall pick, so certainly once upon a time was highly thought of. Played for the Giants and the Chargers. He has been a durable player. In 2021, he started all 17 games for the Giants, Hayes. Had 3.5 sacks, 72 tackles. He was a good player. 22, that got him a contract with the Chargers, the 2-year, $14 million contract. So $7 million a year in 22 for an interior lineman is a pretty good contract.
Yeah, it'd be like $11 million now.
Yeah, so it's a pretty good contract for a guy, but he hurt his knee, went on the injured list, came back the next year and started all 17 games. And then last year landed with the Bills, and to your point, played a handful of
31% of their snaps. I mean, that's for a big run stuffer.
Yeah,
that's a decent percentage of snaps.
After 2 to 3 years before that, he started all 17 games. So this isn't some.
Yeah, he's got 56 career starts.
Yeah, this guy's a good football player, and if there's anything left, he could be a pretty good foot. He's 6'4", about 315. He's a big physical clogger, a defensive lineman. So I think Austin Johnson will help the team. And again, the defensive tackle position, because they weren't as active as they were in some other spots, you hope that thing comes around. Look, Eric Armstead hasn't practiced yet. Mason Smith hasn't practiced yet. Devon Hamilton is coming off a terrible illness a few years ago when he was starting to come into his own. Tyler Lacey's out there. Jordan Jefferson's out there. But there's not a lot of guys. There's not. So that's one you're hoping a guy like Austin Johnson comes in and can really help the cause.
Yeah, and again, the Jaguars will have the 5th pick in waiver claims. So I would expect that, that will be a bit of a churn at defensive tackle if, or maybe they'll pursue looking at a trade. But, when we start to see, obviously there's not the waves of cuts anymore. It's just one cut at the end. But I would imagine with the Jaguars, again, that they will have the 5th right of refusal on any player that's released that's subject to waivers, which will be 97% of the players that are released on cut day. So, that could be a spot where, maybe you're able to get a veteran or two in there to help fortify. if the worst case scenario develops, if Eric Armstead for whatever reason is not able to return to play in the next few weeks, if Mason Smith's calf doesn't heal up like they're hoping, I think if you add Mason Smith and Armstead, I think you're okay. But if those players, if you're starting to worry about whether you will have them for week 1, then they're in some trouble.
Yeah. So we'll see what winds up happening, and hopefully the defensive line is able to play. And again, I'm looking forward. By the way, if you see Trevor Lawrence Saturday, my guess is you see him one series. So you're certainly not going to see any of those guys very much. If you see him at all, you might not see him at all. By the way, you're not seeing Aaron Rodgers either. You're not seeing whoever their good players.
That would make zero sense.
Yeah, I don't think you're seeing. You're not seeing. So it's just again, I've said it 1,000 times. I've said it ad nauseum, too many times perhaps. But we have to get to where there's 2 games, where there's 8. I know the players have pushed back on an 18th regular season game because there's one more game that really matters, and those are hard to play in. But if you get paid more, and if you get the second bye week, which is what everybody thinks you'll have, which I think would be great, by the way.
Absolutely.
I think a second bye week, everybody gets to catch their breath. So I think that would be great. A second bye week, everybody gets to play. I guess that, and then because then if you had the 2 preseason games, and if you really were down to 2 preseason games, then think about it. You really would have one game. I think you'd have one game where your starters play a quarter and a half, maybe a half, and the other game where it's just a tryout, and then that's it. Then there'd be no debate. You with me on that? Mm-hmm. Then there'd be you had 2 games.
It'd be perfect.
One game, your starters play a quarter and a half, maybe a half. Your key backups play the rest of the game. So now everybody's gotten a little work against another team. And then the last game, nobody plays. The last game, it's a tryout for the guys at the end of your roster or guys trying out for another roster. A lot of times, there's an awful lot of players, particularly when that last game comes around, that Miami game for the sake of this team, everybody knows they're not on the team. But you might have a team that's looking to pick up guys, and they're auditioning. What year was it? The Jags picked up like 7 or 8 guys. 2013. Like 7 or 8 guys.
I walked in the locker room on the following Monday and was like, where's the team that I covered throughout training camp?
Yeah, it was like 7 or 8 guys.
It was nuts. And shockingly, they got off to an 0-8 start that year.
Go figure, right?
Yeah.
But so it does happen from time to time.
I wouldn't think it does. And again, you're going to have nearly 1,000 players get cut on when rosters go from 90 to 53. So there will be a lot out there. I don't, other than, maybe defensive tackle, maybe safety. You never know. There could be a guy that, like James Gladstone, is just like praying gets cut that we have never heard of, but he thinks is, right. A really good player in the making. So we'll see. But I think in terms of roster wise, I'd be surprised. I'd put the over under for Jaguar waiver claims 2.5.
Yeah. I almost think if they're going to pick up another player, it would almost be more like a guy like Austin Johnson, a veteran who's an okay player who just isn't playing right now. Yeah, I almost think it's more that than a guy that wasn't good enough to make someone's 53. Austin Johnson would be good enough to be someone's 53. He just hadn't found the right deal yet. I almost think it would be somebody like that. All right, let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
What'd you think about the scrimmage?
I liked it.
What'd you like? What stood out?
Trevor.
Yeah.
Trevor stood out, except for the one bad play. You can't have that. But, outside of that, it was arguably, if you look at preseason games, scrimmages, maybe his best effort, man. He moved, even on that drive, effortlessly, he was moving the ball. Just made one bad decision. I thought that was encouraging. Trayvon Walker may have looked like the best guy on the field. He's had a really good camp.
Yeah, it's coming for him. Let me back up. Well, what are your expectations, Rick, for Trevor this year? What do you think?
Over 22 touchdowns. Okay, I've got the house on that at 21 and a hook.
All right, okay.
I think it's the best bet in Duval. Over 22 touchdowns for Trevor.
But is this the year that he really steps up in your opinion?
No, the way the contract is written, that even if he was to disappoint, I don't think it's close to being it for him. I think consistency is what I want to see more than anything for Trevor Lawrence. I think I'm a little bit, and I should say, I think Jaguar fans are tired of hearing that he can't read defenses, right? That he has the most turnovers of any quarterback since he started in this league 4 years ago. Things like that. Clean it up, really take that next step. And, I feel right now that he should be able to do that with the skill position players that they have. I still have uncertainty about the offensive line, and obviously that's a huge part of it.
You made a good point about the interception. See, you can talk all you want about read defenses, but that's an opinion. You can't. There's no metric that tells you that. Well, interceptions, that's a metric.
Yeah,
that's a fact. So
that's a play. He can't make that mistake.
You got to do
even if you got to settle for 3 there, you can't make that mistake. We'll review it. We'll take a look at it, and just everything. It's going to be a great week here in Duval, obviously, with the first preseason game as well coming up this Saturday night. So we'll relive it all here over the next 2 hours.
Coming up, Rick Willoughby goes into the night. That happens right now, folks. That's our program. Tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.